Hey everybody, it's Pandy and I'm playing World of Tanks. The other day I was doing what I normally do during the day and someone came up and messaged me and saying that they found a forum post on the World of Tanks forums. They were wondering why I never updated or anything, and my overall response was I don't ever remember posting a thread like that. After looking it up, I found it and decided to go ahead and bring it back alive. I plan on updating it more regularly, and if you happen to have any questions, throw them down right there. You get a good chance for me to respond to them. A really good question will most likely get responses on my videos and my website, etc, etc, etc. Link to it in the description. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check out World of Tanks videos, wootvideos.com, go check them out. They're the bomb. Link in the description of always. Alright, now this video is going to be about my E-100, this little super heavy monster thing. E-100 was originally designed as an alternative to the Porsche design super heavy Moss. Development began in very late 1942 using many of the components from a Tiger tank, along with the same turret of the Moss. The E-100 has been dubbed the Tiger Moss because of this. Further work was later approved for development in June of 1943 and continued on to 1944 when Hitler officially ended it in favor of the Moss Super Heavy. After Hitler's announcement, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but three Alders, I don't know, employees were allowed to continue working on the assembly of the prototype and was given the lowest priority in regards to construction. Even after all these handicaps, the three employees virtually completed the prototype by war's end at the small Henschel's facility near Paderborn. The prototype only lacked the turret at the time. It was not really operational, but it was getting there. For testing, the Tiger II's Maybet's HL230P30 engine was fitted. This engine, of course, was too far weak to properly power the 140-ton E-100. The production engine was going to be the updated Maybach HL234, which is only 100 horsepower more and was unlikely to power this beast. There's other sources saying that a DB diesel engine with 1,000 horsepower was to be the one to be powered into this machine, but nothing was to confirm nor deny this. It's just more or less interviews and other sources within the project. The E-100 was initially slated to use the 15cm K44 L38 main gun, but provisions were later made to eventually upgun this vehicle to the even bigger 17cm K44. The E-100 was a very conventional layout compared to other German tanks. Had the standard rear engine, front drive layout was pretty much maintained. It was possible that it would have used the same suspension system that the other E-Series tanks were using, or was planned to be used, but this cannot be confirmed purely because the E-100 was the only prototype tank ever built of the E-Series series. It was most likely going to happen purely because of the overwhelming need to maximize production among all the other tanks, so it could have happened, could have not, depends. We don't know. The vehicle itself was never finished and was found by the British at the end of the war, and nothing from this development affected any future tank developments. If I ever had a conclusion, my conclusion would have been is the E-100 and the Moss resources, yes, they decided to do it, but those overall man hours and the metal and everything else that they put into it could have been better served building Tiger IIs or Tiger tanks. And if you ever want to ask my opinion, I don't think the Germans should have gone heavy tanks. They should have stuck with the Panther and maybe continued the development of it into more leaner killing machine like the Panther II, or maybe even potentially a similar design to the E-50. It's just simply the Germans simply didn't have enough man hours to be able to pump into each one of these individual machines, where they should have been maximizing the standardization of everything and just focused on one single tank to allow them to propel everything forward, along with all the other smaller projects related to tank destroyers and assault guns or whatever. However, I just think they should have had one good, leaner machine to propel them forward, which could have been the Panther tank, but I'm always wrong in some cases, but in most cases, I think I'm always right. At least I think I am. I don't know. It's just a theory. Now, in World of Tanks, the E-100 is a mean killing machine. I will have to say that. The main 15cm main gun has the ability to derp any of the other machines out there. I mainly use AP in this bad boy, which provides an okay range of damage between 500 and 900 points. With the new French tanks already out, round, which is not really that long. I load up HE specials for these bad boys purely because they don't have any armor to stop at HE round. I've actually managed a 1.5k damage hit against a AMX 50B, and I damn near shit myself when that happened because I was like, what? Now keep in mind, when facing off against heavier tanks that have the armor to stop your 15 centimeter, you pretty much need to hit for the weak spots because it will be defeated by sloped armor with no issues. The gun requires hitting weak spots because of that, and because it is a derp, it is inaccurate as shit. Kind of mixed on saying whether or not this gun is good or bad because it has great damage. It does a lot of damage, but its reach in regards to range and accuracy is a little bit limited, so it's one of those brawling type guns for a tank that can't brawl because it has a really slow reload rate. I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on this. You know, I want to hear what you guys think. The armor on this beast is actually rather good. It's very good at frontal deflections and dings from any gun out there, even the large caliber guns like the 130 or the 152. When it comes to the larger guns, however, your best tactic is to angle your tank against them to put your armor to best effect. Basically put more armor and allow for more possibilities of deflection. Now the frontal weak spot of course is the lower plate, but if you angle that armor like I said just a couple moments ago, you'll get a better chance of deflections. The side armor is actually the weakest on this tank, and if you ever find yourself in the position to shoot it, go ahead and shoot it. I think you guys already know that. But just a fair warning, when you try to shoot it from the sides, you want to make sure you try to hit a flat part, and there isn't really that many flat parts, but you want to make sure you kind of like are not angled to the sides. Don't try to be forward or behind it. Try to be like, you know, not toe to toe, but pretty much on the sides of them so that you can get a 0-degree shot in, so you get best possibility of penetration. Because if you're at a 45-degree angle at it and the armor is 130, you're trying to slice through 260 worth of armor, because at 45 degrees you double the amount of armor that you have to try to go through. Best bet would be try to be within 0 to 15 degrees of being able to put a nice flat shot in so you can get a good penetration. Now the mobility on this tank isn't really something to be worth talking about, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because I am Pandy. If you ever played a low, I know, I just fucked up saying that, but if you know what I'm talking about, I don't give a damn. You'll be moderately content with the speed and turning rate if you play the low. It's not really that bad, but you do have a good ability to turn your frontal to any threats. Medium tanks, on the other hand, will obviously attempt to do that circle of death around you and might have a chance in killing you. The best tactic against that is to find yourself up against a hill to allow him to try to get around you. He has to slow down when he goes up that hill, giving you a chance to shoot him. Of course, along with most tanks, your best bet to prevent that at all is to keep range, shoot at him and try to track him. But if you ever find yourself in an urban environment, using a building to pretty much prevent him from getting behind you is also a good tactic. Overall, it is slow and ungodly mobility, which isn't really a big problem, just a small downside. Now, even though I might have been critical about the E-100's firepower and mobility, all in all, it is a monster. It does good damage when it does pin and great protection overall. The only bad thing about it is slower. It is slower than shit. However, more though, it is rather play to fun compared to the American cousin twice removed, the T-30. Now the T-30 does pack a hell of a punch and has decent penetration, but no protection at all against the many shells being thrown at him. That is the reason why the E-100 kind of has one up on him, because it can dish it and take it. It's a pretty decent tank in my eyes, and I wouldn't say it's highly recommended, but it is worth having for the enjoyment factor for clan wars, of course. Oh, and I almost forgot one more weak spot on it. If you have a gun that has enough penetration to go through 240, and you for some reason can't get through that glass shield plate or the lower plate, the cheeks on the E-100, it's also good weak spots to hit. That is the weaker part of the turret armor. So if you ever find you're in a position where you can't pin that frontal glass shield plate, go for the cheeks on the turret if you have a gun that's more than 240 pin. Just a little bit of tip I just forgot to mention, but there you guys go. I don't want to forget anything. Now we do get to that part of the video where I get to give some gold away. If you haven't heard, the wonderful gift shop that Wargaming has just announced allows me to give you guys gold more directly. Many people have asked for it, but I do believe I have been the loudest, or at least the most consistent. I've asked for the ability to gift people gold for about 5 months now, after about 12 support tickets and what seems like hundreds of emails. The shop is finally here. So right now, I ain't going to be giving away any more Ultimate Game cards. I have one for the IS-7 video right here, and that will be going to the winner real soon. But as of right now, I will be only giving away Cold Sweet Gold. Cold Sweet Gold. I should get that patented. Cold Gold. Yeah. And also for later videos or achievements, like if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I might be giving away me a KV5. But as of right now, what I will be giving away for this video will be 3,000 gold for the US server, or 2,500 gold for the European Union server on January 13th. To win said gold, you must be be subscribed to my channel, and B, post a comment down below, maybe about the video question, which is, which French tank line are you going to be going down, heavy or medium? Now, me being me, I wanted to go down the medium tanks lines, but those tanks seem more like light tanks to me, and I will get to them eventually. What I'm going to go down is the heavy line first, just purely to get a Clan Wars ready tank. And I'm actually interested in the mediums, but the heavy line, if you really think about it when it comes to the French tanks, is already the medium line compared to like the E-100 and such. So I'm going to do the heavies first, technically speaking. I really think they're like over glorified medium tanks with monster guns, but that's just me. Tell me what you guys think. I'd love to hear it. So that's about it, everyone. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit that forum post. Make sure you check out wootvideos.com, or the link in the description, of course. So I appreciate it, guys. You guys take it easy. I am Pandy, and good hunting.